Well, hi, this is Paul Feuerstein, editor-in-chief of Dentistry Today, and I am here today with Brian Connolly. And Brian and I have worked together for I don't know how many years in this high-tech real field. We've done a lot of work in the CAD/CAM area. Brian's one of my go-to people for information. And today we're going to be talking about what I consider a groundbreaking new product. Um, Brian is the VP of Business Development at Medit Corporation. Now, I know Medit, and some of you might know Medit because of their i500 intraoral scanner. But first of all, Brian, how you been in this crazy time? I mean, have you make it out this last year?
Well, it's great to see you. And yeah, it has been a crazy time. Fortunately, in this digital world, times like this actually motivate or push the market a little faster than it has been going, which has actually been very positive for us as a company. We've been able to deliver, produce, manufacture all in these times, and we had a record year. So no, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, well,
It's been crazy.
yeah, I mean, Medit did not slow down at all the whole year. So first of all, tell us a little bit about the company. People might not know who Medit really is.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you and I go back a long ways in this space, and sometimes you don't hear about companies until wow, all of a sudden something happens. And Medit's been in the digital 3D scanning space for over 20 years. This is really what's remarkable about this company. Industrial primarily at first, whether it's the jewelry companies of Tiffany's or automobile industry like BMW and Mercedes, all these types of reverse engineering. So they have an industrial. And then about 11 years ago, they looked at the dental laboratory. The founders are both professors and both came from education in the US, MIT and Harvard, a couple schools you may know about being where you live.
Yeah.
And so, they brought back some interesting thoughts on, really moving into different spaces. So we've been in the dental lab space for over 11 years and have a tabletop series, been very successful and really kind of an award-winning tabletop scanner.
Yeah, it's been.
What they wanted to do is get into the clinical space.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's kind of how I got involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the dental labs have Medit scanners sitting all. They're just scattered all over the laboratories. You send impressions to them, you send models to them. They use the Medit scanner and it gets into a digital workflow. So
Right.
they got tired. They said, "Hey, why don't we just go right to the dentist at this point?" So they came out with the i500. When was that? A couple of years ago, right?
2018, we launched it in California, actually, at the CDA. Actually, previous to that, the Chicago show, we showed it,
Right.
and then we officially launched it after that. And, like any new product, it started getting a little attention. And so
Well, for,
from
for
there,
good
it was just a roller coaster.
for good reason, because
Yeah.
I mean, the term that people use about Medit, sometimes they've been a little bit disruptive in this little sector here, because all of a sudden
Yeah.
you got a sub $20,000 unit, which was unheard of at the time, and
Right.
and just people say, really? I mean, now I don't have to spend 100 grand and then get into scanning. So I mean
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
then forgetting the price point, this unit was great. I mean, people have said,
Yeah.
"Wow, it's in HD, it's in full color." I mean, it was pretty fast. I mean, it still is pretty fast.
Yeah.
It was still is pretty fast. And then you spent a lot of time tweaking it, and adding software and different processes to it. So it's really been quite a run with the i500.
Right. So we like to refer to these products as platforms mainly because just like the Tesla automobile, right? That automobile gets updated on a regular basis through software, and our systems are the same way. And so if you had an i500 on day one and you still have it today, it's going 10 times faster than it was on day one.
Yeah, because your software, I've watched the software updates come through, and if you graphed it, you're starting it wasn't slow, but all of a sudden it went from like 10, 20 seconds to 10 seconds to 5 seconds for post process
Yeah,
and
no,
things like that. So it was very, very workable. So everybody's been thrilled with the i500, and then you had the nerve to come up with something even better.
well, when you listen to the market, Paul, and you probably are the best when you to listen to the market, and we actually take that feedback and re-engineer based off of what the market's saying, and not necessarily of what we want to do. We have a vision of where we think this needs to go, But we took everybody's, advice, and we put it into a new version that is actually a family product. So the i500 is not going away. It's
Right.
one of the most successful scanners in the marketplace. But yeah, its new brother or sister, whichever way you want to look at it, is quite interesting.
So let's take a look at it. I'm going to run some. I have some slides set up for you here.
Yeah.
So give me a second to put it on. So let's see. So why don't you talk a little bit about it's called the Minute i700, and let's talk about some of the really cool features. I have a few that I've picked out for you too.
Yeah, so obviously, let's kind of start on the upper left here. In the i700, just referencing our next evolution of scanner design and operation. Low maintenance is really typical on both products. And so low maintenance basically means there's no working parts internally. So, there's really no maintenance to be done to the system to keep it operating. It's all maintained through software. The design, we've made it smaller, and we've made it lighter, which is pretty powerful for, I think our initial rollout, the i500 was a good size ergonomically. It received a lot of awards for that, but you can even get a little better with that. And that's what we did. I think really where I want to focus, so thanks for circling that, is the built-in disinfecting capability. One of the things we really paid attention to was what was going on in the world today. We also knew in general is this little UV light right underneath that button that'll be turned on when it's in its cradle and not being operated. And there will be a UV light internally that'll clean that internal component or compartment, which is to us, it may seem like a trivial or small thing, but for the patient sitting on the other side, that's a big thing for them to understand. And they appreciate that from their dentist.
And what about the tip? Yeah.
Yeah, the tip, we've evolved that as well. So the tip really is a new material that allows you to autoclave it over 100 times and really, get your per cost use down quite a bit. Very durable, very simple, and what have you. It's reversible. You can pull it off and reverse it 180 degrees. A lot of times people are challenged to rotate a scanner upside down. So you just pull the tip off, rotate it, and you can keep the button right on top as you would like to see. And you can see another interesting feature here. And I think other than the 2 times faster, and keep in mind what I said earlier, it may be 2 times faster than the i500, but it's the slowest it'll be for its life cycle. It's a platform. It'll get faster from this point forward. Just to let you know that. It's about 70 frames per second as of today.
And let me
detachable.
Yeah, I just want to interject that for people who don't understand that's the rate of the capture. The typical scanners right now are running about 15 to 30. So 70 is pretty remarkable. And what's that little remote control thing?
Yeah, so that's a button that, so one of the things that we know when you're in the mouth scanning, you really don't want to come back to your PC, mouse, or whatever to actually either rotate the model around, look at it, go to the next step and things like that. So using both buttons, you're able to take full sets of scans and actually deliver it to your lab without going back to your laptop or PC. And that's really a nice new feature. So we call it a control mode. You could call it a mouse. You could call it a joystick, whatever it is, but that's what it is.
And then to me, the coolest thing, and this is unique in the whole industry, detachable cable. I mean, everybody has nightmares where they say, oh my God, what if my cable breaks for starters? So, I have to send the whole unit back. Yeah. But better than that, this opens up some really nice options for you, doesn't it?
It really does. And, we as a company under warranty, we do a replacement program anyways. But on the i500, we've noticed that cable, everybody's a little different. And where we saw it first was the sales teams that are out there, they'll take the cable, wrap it around their scanner, and over time, those cables. So the detachable cable was a real game changer for mobility. We know our price point allows most offices to put multiple scanners in their space, but this also allows them to set up with all these cables already set up in each operatory and just unplug and go to the next operatory and plug in and go,
Yeah.
because of the way our software operates in the cloud.
No, I mean, that's just a fantastic thing. So I've been scouring the internet and trying to find some people who are using this, and it turns out there are a lot of people just showing off. And I found a great little scan. There's a dentist in Brooklyn who decided to show a upper and lower arch and show a couple of special things. First of all, I want you to know that I'm going to show you, this is in real time. The scan is in real time. So I'll talk over it as we go through it. Let me just get the little button here. So we're scanning a full upper arch here. And those of you who've had scanners, actually have scanners, watch how fast this is picking up all the details, going back and forth a little bit. So the dentist is going through the whole thing. And what he's going to do at the very, very end, when he gets the whole scan, he's going to take a good look at it and move it around like this and see if there's any little voids. And if there is anything he has to go back to, boom, go right back to it. If there was a finger in the way or a tongue in the way, whatever it would be. And this is all being done with that little remote control thing that Brian was just talking about. But I'm going to stop it in a second. But then he goes ahead and he's going to do something unbelievable. And this I've never seen before on the lower. Many times when you're scanning, you'll do an area and then you'll stop and then come back to it and do another area and stop and come back to it. And you really wonder. In this case, the operator is going to scan one quadrant, stop, scan the opposite quadrant, and then it's just going to magically stitch it all together. So you got to see this once he stops playing around with the running it around there. So here we go. We're going to scan the lower right side, now the lower left side, and boom. I mean, bang, it's all together. Brian, I mean, what can I say about this thing?
Yeah, no, and so smart stitching is really a unique new feature that allows those that are new to the space. And you know, Paul, I mean, some of the early days, learning how to intraorally scan versus a conventional impression tended to be the thing that stopped people from getting in. You know, I'm challenged, I can't seem to get it. Going over the anteriors, I lose the stitching or whatever it is. What we've found is by adding this feature, those even new to this to the intraoral scanning space can get in there, capture each arch, and then come back, do the interior. You can do up to 5 different segments, and it'll all automatically connect it together. We've done all the testing for accuracy, and it's as accurate as if you stitched it all initially.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about support. If I buy the system, how do I get trained? What support? How's the support system? If there's an issue, what do I do? You know, how does that all work?
Yeah, sure. So we have a vast reseller network, and there's all types of resellers out there. And so they're there first. You know, if you were a new dentist purchasing from one of these resellers, they're responsible to train and to support you at the first level. We support them on everything from there, but we also do not let anybody fall through the cracks. We have a global network of support. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is. If there's a support need, that can be automatically just sent into our support channels, and we'll pick it up wherever, whatever time frame that is, whether it's in Korea, whether it's in the US, and we'll make sure that that ticket is managed and handled, and we'll help our partners take care of it as well.
And one thing
so we pride ourselves on that. We actually won an award, you know, for some of that as well. So that's a big part of our DNA that we believe is critical in this space.
And something else I found just as I was researching the product is that you're all over the internet. Everybody who has this posts. That's where I found that video. And there's also they seem to help each other too. It's like online support from people to people. Like, how do I get this scan? How do I do this thing? And there are people all, you know, to talk about 24/7. You just, you know, go onto a Facebook group or something, and it's right there. It's great. It's just great. I mean, you have the people are so passionate. I've never seen such passion for a product like this.
And you know most of these people, and you know how they are. They are true digital minds that are adamant of quality, precision, And so when you get that collaboration in the social environment world, it really is magic. I mean, we have some powerful people in there that really get it and helped us
Yeah.
along the way. They push us back and
Well,
we listen.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen Medit itself come in and respond to some of the people because they're obviously monitoring what's going on. Says, you know, we know that if there's a problem, we understand that, or get in touch with this person right away, or here's how you did this thing wrong. You should do it this way. I mean, it just really, it makes me laugh that you know, it's just so universal right now. And
Right. And we have probably the biggest guru that I think everybody respects out there. And it's Michael Lee, who's our chief technology
yep,
officer. He is probably one of the smartest individuals in this space that I'm aware of. And he's humble, but he is brilliant and he participates
yeah.
in those social environments and enjoys it. I don't know if he sleeps at all. I don't think he does because I see all kinds of hours.
So you know, if someone needs information, I mean, the website is medit.com. What should they do if someone wants to get more information on where to, you know, what's it all about, other than going? You can just actually you can just search for Medit on Facebook if you really want to. But you know, if you go to the real
Yeah.
website, I mean, that should be a basic information. And so is that the best way for them to find out more information?
Yeah, I would tell you, we're always welcome to take direct, responses. Our website is a great channel to say, hey, I'm interested to learn more. I see these every day. I personally get involved to respond to some of these, depending on what the interest level is. And we have a team that kind of goes through those as well. And then we have our partners that will kind of move some of that off to our partners as well, so they can respond. But your point about going into social media, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you haven't jumped in yet, or you bought a scanner and for some reason it just didn't work in your space, hopefully you're not tarnished in a way where you're not willing to look at something a little differently. We are open to helping you explore or go on this journey. Again, we have, to your point, we've made great friendships with some really influential people in this space. And we're just there to kind of support the journey. And we play alongside all these other technical tools that are out there today, whether they be printers. And I mean, our ecosystem has grown tremendously.
Which reminds me, I don't want to forget. This has you can connect this to pretty much to dental labs, to mills, to 3D printers with software and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's not just a standalone piece. And you've made strategic partnerships, as I've seen, to a lot of companies.
And in our MeditLink platform, I think, where you understand where labs probably go through a ton of platforms or have building their own out or whatever it may be, what we've done, and it's no cost to a lab. They don't even have to own our products, right? So they can open up our platform, set it up, and there are workflows built in that you can tie your systems into, whether it be software, or design software, whether it be outputs, mills, and and printers and things of that nature. Our goal is to get that ultimate platform that everybody wants to operate and use. That's kind of our goal.
Well, Brian, I got to tell you, this has been a pleasure. I mean, you've always been a great friend and great help to me all along, and now you're sitting with. I think you're at the top of the chain right now. I have to say it, at least as of this second. Who knows? In this marketplace, things change every day. But I'm really thrilled to see what's going on with you personally and the company Medit. So let's sign off at this point. And if you need more information, you can get a hold of Brian Connolly, medit.com. Yeah, I'll give you a cell number. No, I won't. You probably would.
No, I do appreciate your time, Paul. It's always a pleasure. One of these times, I'm going to get you to pick up your guitar and do a riff for us.
Yeah,
so we can see your talents there.
Yeah, we'll do the Medit song. But more important, Brian, I can't wait to bump into you in some meeting somewhere, which has been the disaster this past year. I finally am going to some meetings as of the late summer and things like that. So I think we're getting back there. We're getting there. It's time to come out and see the people, and not just this Zoom platform is great up to a point, but I can't just grab your hand and say, how you been? So
hey, listen, if you're ever at a show and I mean, we'll definitely get together and have a dinner or something and enjoy some time, conversing on other things as well. So
Absolutely.
thanks for your time today.
Okay, Ray. Well,
Thank
thanks so much. And we're signing off.
All right.
Take care.